And we're here. That's it. We're live. Welcome, boys. It is the whole Cammy crew back on a Tuesday night. Thank you so much for joining. Fu, amidst all of your busy day-to-day rigor, coming in out of the audience to join us again to read the news. We can expect some above average segues this evening. The witty hits, and
what are you gonna shame me?
Samson,
Don't shame my segues.
Relegated to providing the controversial takes and the One Piece theory crafting.
Samson, thank you for in my absence for doing this. I'm gonna praise you for this. I don't know why there's so much hate.
Yeah, don't shame my segues, man.
I'm just trying to feed the fire for the debate cast to come back. We're still musing what that might look like. I think we're talking about ideas to do a main segment. So I gotta build the animosity. I'm creating teams here. So, but for tonight, we got a good week of news. A lot has happened. I'm really excited to talk through. We sprinkle in some DC updates here and there, but this was a big week, so we're going to dedicate a big block to talking about all the updates that you may have missed in the DCEU, the Gunniverse. I hate that. It's way worse than Snyderverse, Gunniverse. But we'll cover you from that angle. We got Gamescom that happened today. Really excited to talk about some of the things that didn't happen there. And yeah, everything in between. So without that, Fu, I'm happy to hand it off. Hit us with the news.
All right, so we've got a couple things on the rocket. Since we've last talked to you, we'll go through some quick hits, and then some stuff I'll bounce off the team. Some stuff I'll just plow through. As always, we compile this news for you, so you don't have to go on X and random websites that sound like porn domains to get this information. So, Beyond the Spider-Verse will be released when it's ready, according to Chris Miller. I know that they're having some issues because they underpaid their VFX staff and they overworked them throughout the pandemic. So the March 2024 date is definitely not happening. So that's what that means.
Does that mean it's already written? Because it would have had to have been written.
Yeah, it probably was written.
So Lord and Miller are assholes because they will write stuff, have the VFX completely create it, and then rewrite it, and then have them redo it again. They have people that will do just storyboards and be like, oh, this works, or oh, this doesn't work. They just don't care. And Sony is giving them a bloated budget because they made a shit ton of money, so it's only going to get worse. So pray for the teams.
Wait, it's fine. They can't do any voice acting right now anyway, so
yeah,
they can only do VFX, but no rewrites. Anyway, also so. All right, cool.
Yep. So yeah, Scott Pilgrim animated on Netflix coming out. Looks like most of the original cast is returning. So for those who don't know, check out Scott Pilgrim. I don't know what the full name of the original movie was, but definitely go watch it. It's a pretty awesome movie.
Wasn't it
Saves the Universe? Yeah.
Like that. Brie Larson was in it. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Everybody's in that movie. I'm surprised they came back.
Yep. So very excited to see that. Not sure what exactly it'll entail, but check out the trailer. It's on YouTube now. So awesome stuff. Have we decided on a main story? Am I saving some stuff for the end, or are we just going to plow through?
Yeah, save all the DC stuff for the end.
You got it. All right. Yeah. So so you get my genuine reaction to the stuff. So we have a feed that we put together, and I'm reading this for the first time. So someone got catfished by a Stranger Things scammer and sent them over $10,000. This happens all the time in the wrestling world. They'll say have wrestlers will they'll create fake accounts for wrestlers, and they'll reach out saying, "Oh, you're my biggest fan. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. Send me a bunch of money. I'm trying to build my house." And they'll wire them $15,000-$20,000 for down payments for the houses. Then they'll still try to sue. Some guy sued Vince McMahon because his someone a wrestler fake scammed him, but it wasn't even it was just some rando scammer using a fake account. Why are you going to sue WWE? Because you're salty because you're get scammed, whatever.
I think people deserve it. Because it's like, how are you still getting catfish in an era where everyone has FaceTime? How hard is it to be like, hey, yo, let me just see a video of you? Something.
Right. Like, unless you're like elderly, like somebody's grandma.
Simps are gonna simp. Simps are gonna simp, man. Simps are gonna simp. Like, all they need is some kind of attention and a pretty picture, and they're gonna.
I need visual confirmation.
I don't understand how catfishing is still a thing. Like 10 years later, it's like, how is everybody not aware that nobody online is who they claim to be? Like,
well, you've got people with tons of mental illness and learning disabilities that are going online and wouldn't know how to distinguish between these things. And you've also got folks that are getting scammed real good by people that are really good scammers. So like people like that will have like people will like rent out offices and like for like photo shoots and stuff. And like bring people in and like do like it'll seem like it's a real thing, and they'll have a website and they'll have like agent, like all these things, and then boom, they'll just be gone. Like you have to pay to get like
It's an elaborate scheme. Like, this person just said, "Hey, I'm from Stranger Things. Give me money."
Pretty much.
And then
they got it. Oh my god, I love you.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm like seriously.
Oh my god,
dude, this is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, so Hasbro is launching an entertainment division based on the success of Barbie that includes Nerf, G.I. Joe, Play-Doh, Peppa Thing, Transformers, My Little Pony, Dungeons and Dragons, and Magic the Gathering. There's like 6 things on this list that already have have made like billions of dollars. This is dumb. Are they reorganizing their entertainment licensing, or are they trying to like cop more of the profits instead of just handing it off?
Did you say Peppa the Pig? Was Peppa the Pig one of those?
Yeah. Banned in Kuwait, by the way, Peppa Pig, because it's a pig. Because pork is not allowed.
Yo, I'll put $20
in the chat. I know he loves the pork being banned in Kuwait.
$20 that they try to make a live action Peppa the Pig pre-2025.
They are.
Yes, that's happening.
No, but I think we've talked about this before too. It just seems like they have the IP. Let's do it. And you said Mattel, right? Because Mattel owns all that.
It says Hasbro on the list.
Oh, it's Hasbro. Oh no, sorry. We talked about Mattel last week, so Hasbro this week, and then so that's is that Transformers and G.I. Joe?
Yeah, Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover.
Existing
it's the universe. They've already started their universe.
Yeah, just throw Peppa Pig in there. I want to see Peppa Pig fight Optimus Prime. Just go ball to the wall.
They're not going to do that.
I want to see them have like a fourth wall break where they end up at a Toys R Us in 1997. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, first look at Godzilla's spin-off series, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Not interested in this at all. If it's coming out on Apple TV, I'm not here for the Godzilla TV series.
Such a weird choice. Like it just doesn't feel like
a movie thing.
Yeah. I disagree because Apple has consistently put out quality entertainment.
Exactly. That's
CGI?
why it doesn't seem like a good fit. Is because it's like this seems like a weird like. This will be the first thing I think on Apple TV that's like some universe thing. Like they've always kind of done their own thing. You know what I mean?
This looks like something Max would probably shit out.
This is Zaslav selling off stuff, selling off rights to pay for some of this stuff. Right?
That's what I think. But I think Apple TV is a weird choice. It seems like it would have fit more in like Paramount Plus or Hulu or something.
Yeah, but since it's Apple TV, if Warner Brothers just sold off the rights, but if they sold it to Apple probably got a writer to make something of quality, right? Because everything else there is of quality.
You can only polish a turd so much, man. Like,
but Godzilla's not a turd. Like, it's just
this universe of Godzilla is not good.
The biggest draw for the Godzilla films are the monsters. It's just like you're taking away the best aspect of it, or at least having it linger in the background and say, hey, let's focus on the humans, which is always the worst part of these films.
Let's have a Transformers based on the government agency that handles them.
I want to watch Shia LaBeouf go to college. I want an 11-part series about Shia LaBeouf going to college. Yeah. No, it was the worst part of that last movie was that whole side story with the chick that plays 11 in Stranger Things. Like, it was so bad. It was such a bad part of that movie.
The Japanese guy was pretty badass.
Yeah, he was cool.
He's always good.
He's
though.
always
Like,
good. Yeah,
you
he's good in
can, it's
everything,
hard
yeah.
to like. Yeah,
He's just a
Yeah.
good actor. Yeah, he was really good in Tokyo Vice too. Solid.
Yeah, bring him back. I'm gonna watch a series with him in it.
I'm gonna try to get Apple TV and like watch this show just to see what it's like.
I'll be watching it on totally legitimate platforms.
Yeah.
$1 deal for a year.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next God of War video game appears to be in development. Sony is hiring someone who must have knowledge of the previous two games. I remember seeing a tweet from the guy who does the Santa Monica saying that basically we don't have any plans right now for God of War 3, blah blah blah. But I guess money talks, so they move things along. We'll see how it happens. But until SAG goes through, I don't foresee Chris Judge or any of those folks.
Are they?
Yeah,
those
they
voice actors are
can't.
not allowed.
Mocap is not an exclusion. So, like for instance, the SAG has like exclusions for certain commitments. So, like for instance, celebrity game shows or like stuff like that. Like the Celebrity Jeopardy will continue on because they allow that. But like media appearances or something like a mocap or something like that, I don't think would be an exclusion. But again, I'm not part of the guild, so I don't know for sure.
What if you're in the guild and you're like not like a Brad Pitt or like somebody? What if you're just like making a decent living? You know what I mean? Like maybe you make 6 figures, maybe not, and then
You still
all of
got
a
to strike.
sudden,
Yeah, you have to strike.
You gotta
what the
strike.
fuck
Yeah.
are you supposed to do? Like you're like, yo,
Sell drugs.
I was in
No,
6
those are
episodes
fun.
of The Office, and now I'm working at a Starbucks until this is all over. Like,
That's what the
Take a
strike
TikTok
fund
or
is for.
something.
Yeah, better
Yeah,
get that
you do
second
that,
revenue
too.
stream.
we'll come on to Cameos if you are in that position. If I just described you, come on to Cameos. We'll interview you. Yeah. Oh man.
So, teaser for Percy Jackson and the Olympians has been released. Apparently, December 20th is the release date for the film or the
Yeah,
series.
I thought it
I'm
was
not sure.
I thought it was a series.
Yeah,
Could be serious.
can't tell from here, but I never liked the Percy Jackson stuff.
Wow,
I don't
get
like
outta here.
Narnia. I don't like what's it
Get
called?
outta here.
The Hummingbird. What is it called? The
What?
what's the one? What's the one with Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, that's not.
Hunger Games?
Get out of there.
Hunger Games.
If you like Greek mythology, you love Percy Jackson.
Yeah, same.
I love
Give
Percy Jackson.
give me the one with Liam Neeson and Russell Crowe.
Flash of the
I don't love
Titans.
that.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Yeah, give me
That
that.
show is terrible.
Um,
I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. They got age accurate actors for the.
They got
series.
Edge from wrestling as Ares. That's all
Yeah.
I want to see.
He's like with a sword, a giant sword, and a suit on. Like, ooh,
Edge has done a lot of acting. He was in that
yeah.
Canadian show that sci-fi. I watched all of that fucking show. It was great. Not because it's Edge, but whatever.
I want to see him spear the shit out of Percy Jackson.
That's right. But yeah, so for Percy Jackson fans, that's exciting news. For those who don't know, Ahsoka has been moved up by a day. Disney is now changing their release model to 9 p.m. Eastern time instead of 3 a.m. Which is stupid. So when you wake up, you get spoiled by all the social media reactions, and then can't watch it till like 5 p.m. And they've made it more an event, like it should be like HBO's been doing for years, like they should have done from the beginning, instead of just doing it like a stupid fucking release date. Fucking dumbasses. Anyway, so this is a good move. I'm not here to debase it. So go watch Ahsoka when it comes out on time. Maybe they'll give us more quality Star Wars content.
Yeah, is that tonight?
It's tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna raid Ahsoka.
Yeah, raid and
I don't think we have the technology.
legally playing Ahsoka.
Yeah. I'll just screen cap it and just throw it up. Yeah. Cameos is
It'll be a
done tonight.
link to buy 1 year of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We're an affiliate partner. They don't know it yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ahsoka
Jack-
played by Rosario Dawson, who Lucid loves.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Shout out to the chat. So Jack and Dexter live action movie apparently is in the works too. Apparently Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are being considered because there's nobody else, right?
Who's I assume Tom Holland is
Wait, who's
Jack?
Imagine it's the inverse. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Chris Pratt with that Mario was not as bad as the internet made it out to be.
No,
They were in that.
He was the better of the two, honestly.
Chris Pratt and Tom Holland were in that Disney movie that was actually pretty good. One with the two brothers, like the fantasy.
Beyond? What's it called? Someone of the
I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't know the name.
something like that. Yeah, but they're going on a pilgrimage for their father or something like that.
Yeah, they're trying to find their dad. Yeah, that's
I
it.
don't think we have this
Given
as
what I
a.
know-
Sorry, go ahead.
Listen, given what I know about Jack and Daxter, I feel like it would make sense for Tom Holland to be Jack and Chris Pratt to be Daxter, given their personalities.
Wasn't
And
Jack a
the size.
silent protagonist? I thought Jack
He
did
was
not
mute
have...
to like the third game.
Okay, so he did eventually talk, because I remember I played the first two,
Yeah.
and there were no lines. Like Daxter was his voice, which was funny because like he was a little weaselly motherfucker. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a story, but I just really quick to tack this on because I think this dropped. Nobody posted it, I don't think. But Chris Pratt is dancing around right now because the guy who voiced Mario is officially stepping down and becoming, so the voice actor for Mario is becoming an ambassador in Nintendo, but he will no longer voice Mario. The original voice actor for Mario is done. So
Chris Pratt's like, yeah.
The
give me
internet
them
is
residual.
running
Yeah,
wild
the
saying that
memes
Chris
are
Pratt is
crazy.
going to voice the future Mario games, which is probably not true.
A
but
big
Nah,
time
that's not
commitment.
Yeah, I doubt that.
yeah.
That's a humongous time commitment.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
How much does Mario say in the games?
Wahoo!
A
How
lot.
many Mario games there are?
He says, "Mamma mia." He says, "Let's go."
Where's the real dialogue?
I bet
Everyone else is talking.
I bet that they
So-
are just gonna pay the old dude like some figure where they're just like, "Yo, here's like six and a half figures. Live off of this for the rest of your life,
Voice.
and let us just use your voice for the rest of forever. We'll call you an ambassador." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
So,
It's like Vin Diesel as Groot just saying the same thing over and over again, but different inflections.
Pretty
I
much.
am Groot.
I'm pretty sure they
making a lot of money.
recorded him like 6 or 7 times in Guardians 1 and then just paid him $1 million to continue to use his voice. Yeah.
I could do I am Groot next time. Just
Yeah.
find me. Still waiting on that callback for Iron Man 1 when they played all those evil guys that were speaking Arabic. I could have done that. But yeah, so since we're adding unauthorized stories without permission,
Do it.
do it. For those who do not know, the original series from many eons ago for the game called Gex is being remastered. So it'll be released at some point. Actually, I think it's a full remake, to be quite honest.
It's not going to
I
come
don't
on
know.
Nintendo then. Right?
It'll be all three, the original 3 games. So I don't know what platforms it's going to be released on, but the announcement came out at some point. So it's one of the few titles when they sold Crystal Dynamics. When Square Enix sold it off, I think they kept Gex or something like that. I don't know what it was. There was some whole thing with Eidos and Interactive, all these old legacy gaming studios that got merged and then unmerged at some point. But Gex is one of the few that I think remained, and they're remaking it because there's interest in it. I'm excited. Gex is a solid ass platformer. I would say in my top 5.
It was, but it was
Yeah.
Rare. Rare made it, I thought. Right? Or was it not Rare?
I think it was Crystal Dynamics or Eidos or yeah.
The game has some of the best pop culture references.
I know.
Yep. So
Oh, it was
we'll see
Crystal
how.
Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics. You were right.
Yeah.
And Sierra
Well-
Entertainment. Just
Sierra. That's a name I haven't heard in a long ass time.
I don't think they exist
Yeah.
anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is Russell Wilson's wife.
Didn't Sierra make a mist or something?
King's Quest, Leisure Shoot Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry. That's I don't know.
That's all I know.
That game get canceled immediately in today's society.
Wouldn't even make it. Just nope, cancel.
Well, I never took this
Anyway.
meeting. Yeah.
Moving on from my distraction. Sorry, I was a bad readout for there. So the person that gave drugs to Michael K. Williams, the actor from the HBO
Wire,
show
World
The
Walk
Wire.
Empire. He's gonna play DMX.
Yep.
The Ghost
So
Legend.
He's been sentenced to 10 years in prison for providing him something with fentanyl laced heroin, which led to his death. So that's good news, but too little, too late. So moving on to something less grim. The first look. Oh, we talked about the Percy Jackson already. The HBO Last of Us season 2 updates. They're targeting a 2025 release, bigger budget. Abby has been cast already. They'll cover more of the storyline than in one season, and it'll contain deviations, of course, from the source material. So, not real news, but information.
Whoever's playing Abby needs to just delete all of her social media before she's announced.
Yeah, probably for the best.
That harassment's going to be serious.
And again, still how they're going to commit to this date with the writer strike and the Screen Actors Guild strike.
I think everything is subject to change. It's like a tentative date.
Okay, they need to say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Some of the folks from The Mandalorian are also speaking out against Disney, saying they claim that they were being digitally scanned, just like the folks from WandaVision. It looks like Disney kind of went a little gung-ho with that, and now that people are like, oh, we have rights, instead of saying, yes, Disney, suck my dick.
You want to be a star, don't you?
Man, I don't know about that. I read that article. It sounds, part of it sounds like it was normal.
Yeah, it was normal.
Like normal, what's it called? Like you have to get someone's facial orientation to do like normal CG for other things, right?
Yeah.
That's why their face was scanned, not like just to use their face and image later on. And
perpetuity.
Like it's just like extras were running with it. I don't know, but there's still like all the lobbying to do something. So maybe they still have it to use in perpetuity, and that's the issue.
I thought what I understood from that article was that what they were signing away was sort of vague and not understood. So like basically they signed some agreement that said like, hey, we have to scan your face so that we can put you into this episode and then we can CGI stuff and edit it later. And maybe there was not enough information in there that protected them from it being used in perpetuity, right? At least that's the way I interpreted that.
That's possible.
I don't think Disney was intentionally doing it malicious, but probably somebody in the back end was like, let's just like...
Somebody at Disney was malicious.
Somebody is always malicious, but like, I think the intent for having them sign off on it was not directly tied to, and also we could maybe use this forever and never have to pay people again. I don't know.
Someone at Disney realized like legally
I like to think the best.
They could continue to use it. Like legally, we can actually keep doing this, so let's just do it anyway.
But they're not doing it yet. I don't think they're doing that stuff yet. It's
and they're like losing. AI is losing in court. There was random article.
They're losing the copyright battle, which means that corporations can't. If someone tries to just copy them or imitate them, they can't do shit about it, right? So, but that's not going to prevent corporations from using AI. It just means that they need to be careful about how they use it so that it doesn't affect their money avenues. That's all.
Is your image copywritten?
Huh?
Right, like, is my image my copyright?
To my knowledge, that is like there's a certain level of inherent like rights that exist. So the use of your image, I think that's exactly how it's phrased. But the question is does that apply to an AI generated image of you, right? So I think that's where the clarification of the exact wording of the law, does it make sense or not? So that's still TBD. I would think it does. But then again, if you signed it away in perpetuity, that's on you for not reading the contract correctly. So.
But I don't think anyone signed it away in perpetuity yet. I would hope.
But a lot of, maybe they did, right? We don't know.
That's the thing.
So it's
they didn't explicitly. They didn't expressly not.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You have to expressly give this right. Like if you sign away some rights, like you have to expressly state the time frame.
Do you
for those rights?
Could you just say indefinitely? Like we'll
it has to, like,
they could say like we like to be reevaluated in 10 years or something like that.
Maybe instead of like they thought that they were saying yeah definitely, but then actually they were saying indefinitely. Like that there was like
like one of the
Well,
fonts was like 4 and then the rest was like 11. Yeah.
That's the thing. Disney plays some crazy shit with their legal jargon. Like they have control over Florida because in the contract it says we're allowed to take over this until like the 9th ancestor of King Charles passes away or some crazy shit like that. And then Ron DeSantis was like, "Wait, they can do that?"
Wait a minute.
On his face.
Well, he banned all the books that said. So.
Yeah. He didn't read the book. Should have read the history book.
He didn't read any of the books.
No, listen. It's like when you buy a house, right? If you sign away your power of attorney to the title company until the deal is closed, right? It doesn't expressly say until the deal is closed, but that is the way the language is understood. So with these episodes where they're signing away their like the facial rights for the CGI, it's expressly understood that it is for this episode. Or I would imagine that it's understood that it is for this episode. And if you try to go back and say,
this sounds like something a lawyer would have to interpret and defend. Sounds like
I see Disney as the evil entertainment empire, so they'll pull some anything. Unless they want to sponsor us, in which case they're just manufacturers of happiness.
Next year,
Disney somehow got the rights to Mickey Mouse still. So
they're never going to give that up, because Mickey Mouse is such an important, character for them for some reason or another.
They beat the what's it called, fair use, right? 75 years.
Public domain.
Public domain. There you go. They beat that. So who knows? Right.
They'll pay lobbyists to rewrite the laws on AI and copyright. Whatever they want to do, they're going to do it. It's only a matter of time.
I know. Let's move on. So, for those who don't know, there was some hullabaloo recently where they said Thor 5 was in development at Marvel Studios, and then within 2 hours, Variety put out an article saying that, oh well, no, that's not true. So good to know someone has their finger on the pulse of shutting this down. That was like when James Gunn shuts down Twitter. People like, no, that's dumb. No, Bruce Wayne didn't do a cameo for Blue Beetle where he argued with George Lopez. Anyway, so Marvel's The Wolverine. So for those who don't know, there's a video game in development called Wolverine. This is confirmed, right? Emotional narrative and cutting edge gameplay. Yeah, okay, that's very subjective, and may feature a very cool dialogue tech, which applies to the next generation of gaming. So that actually seems pretty cool, right? I mean, if there's going to be something like the Spider-Man newsfeed, but actually like AI generated, that might be a little neat.
I don't see how that fits with Wolverine. What? How's it gonna be terrible? If it's made by the people who made Spider-Man, it's gonna
give me Wolverine through the ages. I want to see James in the 1800s,
that would be badass.
Yeah, fighting and stuff, and you could maybe even travel through time. The game starts with you with Kitty Pryde, and she's I'm gonna send you back. How far back? Way back. Let's walk through this an Assassin's Creed
style. In ways you don't even know.
You just said Kitty Pryde?
Yeah.
No, this trash. It's already trash. It's not what Kitty Pryde's power is. I don't care what that movie says.
Look, what? She can phase through walls. She can phase through time.
No, it's not.
It just makes sense. Don't question it.
It makes no sense.
My question is to Sean's point, it's how does the dialogue really fit Wolverine? Are you going to be able to select your grunts? He's not a talker. He just walks into a room and stabs the shit out of everybody.
That's the thing. It's Wolverine isn't known for his enhanced dialogue options. It's he's a short, furry dude that goes in and stabs things. That's kind of
he looks to Colossus and says, "Throw me."
If it's not X-Force Wolverine killing everything, this game is trash.
I want it to be the 97 Wolverine where he's he can't do all the killing and stuff because it's going to be rated T for teens, and he's going to be there's going to be less friends of humanity around when I get through with them. So it's implying that he's going to kill everybody but never actually says it. It was some of the dialogue from the original series is really great, so we'll see how that goes out, but whatever.
I want to see him tearing chunks off every time he swings his arms.
I thought Spider-Man was rated R or M.
But Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. They just do what they want. So they probably the game is successful.
Yeah, except
Avengers game
Guardians
sucked.
of the Galaxy.
It was T for teen.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers all sucked. We were expecting so much after Insomniac did so well with Spider-Man 1.
Oh, I like
And even
Guardians.
Miles Morales was great, even though it was a short game. Yeah.
I like
Guardians was
Guardians.
great. It just came after Avengers, so no one had faith in it.
Yeah, Guardians was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine. I thought it was completely serviceable. It was not.
Did you beat it?
I did. Mostly out of spite because you and Nick were saying that I just wouldn't. So I was like, fuck it, I will. And it was like a really good.
The gameplay was just very
It was a
generic.
really good couch game. Like Nicole watched me play through most of it because it was just basically like a movie. It had some of the best presentation and dialogue of a game that I've ever seen. But yeah, it came right out after Avengers, and everybody was like, "Yo, how are you gonna give us B-lister Avenger game?" Yeah, it didn't hit at the right time.
It's going to have tons of microtransactions. You have to pay a fee to keep the adamantium in Wolverine. Is what's going to happen. A subscription.
Otherwise, you go back to Bone Claws.
Bone Claws was best Wolverine.
Yeah, best movie.
How do would they beat and just be like, nope, you lose the adamantium? Like, what?
Durability down 60%.
I don't like this timeline.
Let's keep on track.
Okay.
Ron Cephas Jones. For those who don't know, he was in the Netflix Marvel shows. Has passed away at the age of 66. I can't remember the name of his character.
He was Bobby Fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yep. So yeah, we talked about the Mario voice change. We'll leave Gamescom to right before we move into the main story. For those who don't know, also Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa will be starring in The Wrecking Crew, a buddy action movie. I think they just gave up on stuff.
I like Batista.
AI.
Jason Momoa is not a good actor. So.
This is an AI generated article. It looks
That
like
is absolutely like an AI generated movie. I would not be surprised if that whole thing was written by fucking Chat GPT.
Yeah, and then maybe Triple H can show up too. Who gives a shit at this point?
The director of Blue Beetle, I forgot his name. He's doing the movie. And to be fair, Blue Beetle is pretty good, but
yeah,
Nah,
is that one of our articles talking about that? Are we gonna save all that for DC? Is the Blue Beetle
we
release?
save it all for DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Jason Momoa is not a.
I got a movie for you called 2023, The Cash Grab, starring me, just stealing other movies and pirating them.
But I want Jason Momoa as Lobo, and outside of that,
Yeah. I want Aquaman to die, and then maybe Ramakrishna or whatever the entity's like, I'm reincarnating you as Lobo. Why? Don't ask questions. And then maybe we get a cameo by Boston. What's his name?
Boston
Rand.
Yeah.
It's a terrible name.
Played by Mark Wahlberg.
Don't say that. Don't put that juju on this world. Don't even I don't even want a director to hear that in passing anywhere.
That would be hilarious.
The teaser for Good Burger 2 came out. If you watch Good Burger in the 90s, check out this teaser and just pray for Sinbad. Hope he shows up.
I really hope he does. But this bothers me because clearly there are no children that know anything about Good Burger, and it looks like they're just trying to introduce kids to Good Burger, get the money, instead of making a movie for us that we're now grown in our 30s. We remember all that. We've been waiting to see Good Burger 2. I love Good Burger 1, but I was a kid when Good Burger 1 came out. I'm not a kid no more. So give me a non-kid movie.
So what makes you think it's not going to be that? What makes you think it's going to be?
Did you see the trailer?
No.
The trailer starts, Keenan gets hit by Kel driving the car. He does a giant flip in the air and then lands in the seat. And then he's like, hey, come on.
Ignoring Keenan is 50. And Kel is
right.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Just the Good Burger cast.
I was just going to say a Jay and Silent Bob thing is what they needed to do.
Is George Clinton too old to come back? That was the best part of the movie.
The only way kids are going to care about this is if Keenan and Kel work for Mr. Beast Burger.
Or what? Shout out to Mondo Burger in the chat.
Yeah. Hell yeah. every time I see that Mondo burger, the big patty, I'm like, that's the one I want.
Preservatives in there.
Yeah, I'll take all that MSG.
Yeah.
So we talked about AI and copyright. They're still developing, apparently, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, a live-action Knights of the Old Republic. Again, that was one of the 3, quote-unquote confirmed movies when they last did their whole, spiel. One is going to be kind of the end to the Mandalorian saga. One is going to be Knights of the Old Republic, and one is going to be a future-placed movie featuring the return of Rey. So TBD on that one.
Is that the one that Taika Waititi's directing?
I don't want to think about Taika Waititi right now. I hope he just.
I thought he got pulled from that. I think that was like a rumor or something.
I hope they pull Ryan Johnson's movies.
I don't know.
Man.
I think they pulled Patty Jenkins from a Star Wars movie, but Taika Waititi is still very much
still in play.
Yeah, remember him doing
one bad movie and then y'all like don't want to see him ever again.
No, it's not that I don't want to see him. I just thought I think that movie did not seem successful in Disney's eyes. I don't know. His public impression after Thor 4, I think, hit a low.
Dude, this is one film. Everything else he's done is fantastic. Literally everything else he's done is fantastic.
It's true, and I enjoyed Thor 4.
Yeah, it's a very "what have you done for me lately" kind of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not much apparently. So moving on, Microsoft is selling the cloud gaming rights for Activision Blizzard to Ubisoft to appease some UK stupid ass regulatory body. That's happening. Activision games are going to be joining Ubisoft Plus. So if you hate Ubisoft, that sucks for you.
Ubisoft is terrible. I do hate Ubisoft. It's so bad. So bad.
Last but not least, before we get into Gamescom and then transition to DC news for the main stuff, the trailer for Rebel Moon is out on Netflix. If you haven't had a chance, go watch it. I haven't watched it. I assume that it's good. I don't know if it's good, so don't hold me accountable. If it's not, don't text us and be like on Twitter and be like, hey, Boo Money said it's good. I'm just here to read the news. Do you get upset at news people that are reading? Well, actually, you probably don't even know what a news anchor is. Most of the people listening to the podcast. But if they used to have this thing called news anchors that would be on TV and speak the news. If you get upset at them for what they say, but they're reporting things, there's a gap in understanding between how reporting works. So I just read things.
Yeah, Alex Jones is just reading the news. He's just he's just telling us how it is. It's not his fault.
Yeah. I saw
the trailer for Rebel Moon, and it's a Zack Snyder movie. It's really good CGI, an abundance of slow motion, and no coherent plot whatsoever.
Right, exactly. Snyder fans not even watching the trailer for Rebel Moon.
If you like Batman versus Superman and thought that it made sense, because after they try to kill each other and then it's like, Martha, let's work together.
Martha.
This bothers me, right? Because if you're defending Batman versus Superman, right, and Snyder versus Justice League and all these things, why aren't you piping up for Rebel Moon? Why is it not trending cancel James Gunn or fire James Gunn was trending 2 days ago?
Hate is easy. That's why, Sam.
Right, but
it's way easier to send a tweet than it is to actually watch something and then give this was actually good.
Yeah, but they're talking so much shit about how James Gunn is ruining the DCU. We want Snyder and his wife back, but you won't even watch Rebel Moon or watch a trailer for it.
It's just like the Snyder version of the Justice League. They clamored for that shit for 3 years. And then when it finally came out, it wasn't even the top movie that month.
Just be complaining for no reason, man. They get on my nerves.
That's funny.
Go watch Rebel Moon. It comes out, in 2 days, I think? 3 days? Something like that.
Who the hell knows? Nobody cares. Nobody's going to watch it. It doesn't matter.
Go cancel your Netflix subscription. cancel your Netflix subscription,
Yeah.
and then come back and say, "Why are you coming back?" and say, "For Rebel Moon."
Yeah. The reason that nobody's watching the trailers is because all of those Snyder fans are the people who are sharing passwords on Netflix who got cut off and can't watch
They don't even have Netflix. They're all pirating.
Yeah.
They're busy yelling at James Gunn and telling him to stop casting his wife in all these projects.
I'm watching this on Tubi. Yeah.
Every time they try to type something,
I love Tubi's fire.
yeah. Everything every time they try to type something, the Cheeto grease just gets on their keyboard. They have to be careful.
Listen, I'm gonna watch Rebel Moon for all the Snyder fans, and you'll hear a real review, unbiased review on Cameos.
Y'all hear it here first.
I care enough.
Okay.
Come back next week. Yeah.
It'll just be Sam. It'll be just Sam. One video right in the middle, talking at you. Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 4 hours talking about Rebel Moon.
All right, let's dive into Gamescom.
All right. Yeah. Let's wrap it.
Who watched Gamescom here out of y'all? So just
I watched like maybe half of it, and it was a bunch of Call of Duty stuff, Starfield. What else did they? A great Mortal Kombat trailer, but everything else is about what you've seen already. It's focused entirely on projects that are coming out this year, and some look good, some did not. Some we've seen multiple times before, like with Call of Duty. Same kind of gameplay, except now they're shooting in the dark, which I guess is revolutionary for them. And yeah, I'm excited for, I don't know, Spider-Man? No, actually, no, they didn't even have a Spider-Man trailer. Mortal Kombat, that's what I want to see.
What about Tekken 8? Tekken 8 was supposed to be in there.
Yeah, Tekken 8 is in there.
This was also just opening night, so I think there is still more? Or was this all the trailers and everything else is going to be like demos and stuff for the rest?
I think primarily was all the world premiere trailers, and then everything else is going to be extensive looks on pretty much everything they previewed in the trailers.
Which is already looks on things that we've already seen before. So
so like Alan Wake. What was another one they showed? Yeah. They Killing Floor 3, which I'm excited for. But aside from that, it's good and bad, like most of these game expos are. And we'll see what comes out throughout the week.
And the stage got crashed again, like same thing we did last year. So
God demanding that Bill Clinton wants to see Grand Theft Auto 6.
Security at Gamescom really needs to get tightened up next year. Jeff Keighley's going to be wearing like a body-proof suit, or they're going to have to put up like a laser fence or something.
They got to start hitting people again.
People are just rushing up on that stage doing ridiculous shit.
Back in my day,
they did another Starfield trailer too, which I did want to check out because I will end up playing that game because it'll be on Game Pass. But yeah,
spoiled Xbox users.
Are you going to beat it, Sean?
Hell no. But I will say, listen, as somebody who has played like 200 hours of Divinity Original Sin 2 and never gotten past Act 2, I am like really, really invested in Baldur's Gate 3 to the point where I'm like, I'm pretty committed that I'm going to beat this game, which is a monumental task considering how fucking big that game is.
Yeah.
It's a very good game.
Yes.
I gotta wait till it comes out on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It's
so horny too. Like, just do not have your son. Make sure your son is far, far away when you play this game. It's like you cannot have an interaction. Don't look at the bear on the screen. Like any NPC that you interact with, there's some kind of horniness going on. Like you just want to be bros with the dude. You have to like find the dialogue tree to get around the horniness. That's my one complaint with the game is that it's like overtly. It'd be like if we were doing our D&D campaign with Nick and Addis, but everything was just like, and like we're just like giving each other side eyes all the time. That's what that game is like. But
that's what it was though. That was our D&D.
But that was just your character. That was just Colbert. That was Colbert. I'm gonna piss on it.
I want to cancel.
Hey, we got the chat bot. We've officially made it, chat.
All right.
Something's happening in chat right now. Don't
interact
with that bot. We need a mod.
before we
Or should it be catfished by a member of Stranger Things?
Yeah, all right. If anybody in chat is pretending to be a member,
send the bot money.
Can we report the bot? Can someone go on Twitch and report it?
Yeah.
I'm no snitch.
Let's hit the main segment.
Let's hit before we go.
So, DCPU.
Woo.
Don't do that. You sound like a Snyderverse fan right now.
I hate Snyderverse and DCU. I'm an MCU guy. Remember Steve Rogers? Remember Civil War? Remember Winter Soldier? Yeah. Infinity War? I didn't like Endgame. You know, that stuff. And then we secretly, ignore Black Widow and like all this other crap. Anyway, I'm trailing off.
Straight to DVD.
Yeah, it was basically, it was awful. There's no defending it. It's like Tremors 2. It was awful.
All right, so DCU is what? Currently, it's Flash, which is terrible.
Blue Beetle,
which is actually...
I wouldn't even count Flash, though.
You have to count Flash.
Yeah, that's what sucks about it, is Blue Beetle is good, but because it's coming out on the tails of Flash, and because what they blamed the hurricane for the poor performance in the Baja region, which is apparently where they make the most money off of it.
They need every Latino to hit them theaters.
Yeah, we'll see about that, but I think that it was very, very, very positively received by the Latino community, and basically everyone except your main your main comic book demographic scored it really high, and then the main comic book demographic did not relate and scored it really low.
Yeah, but hold on, Justin
on the Metacritic
comic book demographics.
You know what I mean. I don't want to say it.
Okay, I got you.
But they that's the reason why it gained a B+ cinema score and not an A-. It was this close.
I mean, I'll say, to me, the acting wasn't great. It's like I think Justin, you said it's like a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah,
acting wise,
it feels very overacted at certain points. Like, it doesn't feel genuine. Like, you can tell, like, they kind of like pause and wait to deliver their lines. Like, it doesn't really flow very well. Ultimately, like, I thought it was a very safe film. Like, it was good. It was what DC would have needed a few movies ago. But it's at that point where it's like the public has, like, the DCEU or the DC brand has lost so much goodwill with audiences. To the point where it's like, even if they put out a quality film, no one wants to go see it because they think back to Black Adam, they think back to The Flash, they think back to all these other shitty properties that eroded everyone's faith in the biggest characters in, like, fiction, with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, so on and so forth.
And it's funny you say Black Adam, because now we're looking back at Black Adam. It made so much money comparatively. Everyone is now groveling at, like, the Rock's teats and like, oh, please, Rock, give us more money. And it's like, well, comparatively, it did make
compared to Flash.
I think it barely broke even.
And to Blue Beetle, its problem was its budget. It's not the problem of how much it made. If the budget was less, they would have made good money.
Made money,
Yeah.
But to be fair, Blue Beetle, at opening weekend was 40 something, or sorry, the opening premiere was like 3 million, and then after that it was like 10. And I think now it's at like 40 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it only cost 100 million to make.
Yeah,
so it could break even, maybe, if you don't. Well, then again, there's advertising costs. So that's probably like double the actual film budget. So my guess is, in order for it to be in the black or the green, it has to at least make 200 million.
Wait for that hurricane to go away. Wait for the people to be able to get outside.
Do a re-release and like really push it up in communities you think that will go out and see it. Like, pick the theaters based on the demographics. Like, don't like expect to fill out all the IMAXs and in places where folks are not going to go watch Blue Beetle. It's dumb.
Yeah. My thinking is it's going to get a really powerful second life on streaming, because I don't think anyone's going to go out to watch this in theaters because they have to pay for it. But once it hits like Max, which presumably that's where it's going to go first, people are going to start watching it. People are going to start making like fan vids on TikTok and Twitter. There's going to be a dialogue started, and that's when it's going to get super popular. But I fully expect it to bomb in the box office.
I have every intention of watching it when it streams. I have no intention of watching The Flash when it streams.
Flash
You know what?
is
You know what I would do?
It's already
I would. I would partner.
Yes.
I would.
You're a man
If
of
I
your
was,
word.
if I was Warner Brothers, I would partner to get Blue Beetle on a ad streaming, somewhere where they can generate ad revenue. Like after you do the PVOD for a while, and like people get the chance to pay the $20, some obscene amount to watch it. I would like have some type of like ad stream, not just put it straight on Max. I really want to keep getting the paywall up, because that's the only way they're going to make money. If they just throw it on Max, people are either already subscribed to Max, they're not going to subscribe for Blue Beetle. So it's just going to cost them money. When people they want people to subscribe to these like Max and Disney and all that stuff and not use them because it costs bandwidth.
Yeah,
they should just play it. They can play it on TLC, HGTV.
Well, you know
Food
what?
Network.
What happened to the CW?
Oh, they could play with CW too.
I mean, the acting would fit the CW.
Yeah. But so the DCU, they have Blue Beetle, which is good. I'm not going to count Shazam 2, Flash. The Suicide Squad, which is good. I'm talking about things that have already come out at this point.
Yeah,
the Peacemaker, which is good.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 good products. 2 of them are James Gunn's products, but it's 3 good products. But besides Peacemaker, the other 2 didn't really make any money. So it's not looking good for the DCU.
It's looking rough. I mean, James Gunn has a huge hill to climb because, like I mentioned before, like there's a lot of goodwill that's been eroded by the shitty films from like the Snyder legacy. But okay, so before this you had The Flash, which was super controversial. No one really came out to see it. This one you have a safe, good film, which no one really came out for. And then up next after that, you have Aquaman. And all reports have said Aquaman is trash. To the point where they have to do nothing with the reshoots. And people say they said it's like the worst DCEU film, which is the lowest possible bar to clear. Yeah. So it's like that's going to erode fans' goodwill even further right before Superman drops. So
they have to release it. I would assume
they have a contract. They're contractually obligated to release it in a certain number of theaters. That doesn't for a certain amount of time. Yeah, well, that was okay because they were willing to eat the cost for the payout for the contract. In terms of like this, like they're not going to be able to do that. Like they'll get sued by like certain like people. So yeah.
Amber
Turd. She's still in it. I forgot.
Yeah, they didn't drop. They
never took her out.
Yeah, they need to have her bite someone's finger in the movie, and then like Shark King will come.
Dude, there is so much pressure riding on James Gunn's like first foray.
His first thing is Creature Commandos.
Yeah, Superman Legacy is going to look just like fucking Black Adam. I'm calling it now.
No, it's not.
It'll look like Black Adam, and it'll have a little bit better writing.
Yeah, Black Adam is not solid CGI.
James Gunn wrote it, so I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, but
Creature Commandos comes out first, and that's like his true like.
Isn't that animated though? That's like an animated thing.
Yeah, it's animated. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is animated. Yeah.
So I feel like there's way less pressure on that because it's going to get less viewership. Like that's just not going to hit the same way. It's also going to go straight to Max or whatever.
Yeah, straight to Max. But in the same way that Peacemaker did. But if Peacemaker got rave reviews, right? If Creature Commando gets rave reviews, all right, at some point people have to be like, all right, well, so maybe these are James Gunn products. They're getting rave reviews. But then as soon as you get the rave reviews, here comes the bullshit with Amber Turd. And
Amber Turd.
I don't like this anymore.
Man,
I feel like that Aquaman film is going to tank it significantly. Provided the rumors are true.
James Wan is like literally like almost about to walk off set. Like he's so frustrated with how this movie has been. Like, and he's been vocal about it in like media, which is ridiculous.
James Wan is the director.
The director, I think. Yeah.
But why though? Is it?
It's just like so many rewrites. Like it's just been trash after trash after trash. So many reshoots. Like they basically have shot 2 movies worth of material. And it's
who wrote it is the question.
I don't know. But apparently like because of all the changes, because of all the stuff, they just keep like, going at it and making all these adjustments. So I have no idea what to expect from this movie. Honestly, they should just try to salvage it and just do what they can with it and move forward, because it's not going to make money. So you might as well just do whatever you think helps the overall system for them. So if they want to have something that officially ends the DCEU and blow up the entire universe, because that's what Flashpoint should have fucking done anyway, then they can do that. So I don't
What
know.
a fucking mess.
It is a mess.
Mhm.
So messy.
It looks like the
There
writer
is
for
gonna.
these-
I think what has to happen is that the marketing
my
push
God.
for Superman Legacy has to be like, just the trailer is literally just James Gunn sitting there in a chair saying like, "We're starting over," and then the title Superman Legacy, and then like that's the fucking trailer. Like that's how I think
Yep.
that has to be.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm looking at the writer. He hasn't written anything good. So, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Wrath.
Poop lady. All right, we
Oh,
got
Wrath
any
of
other
Titans?
DC PUs updates? We got hit the Blue Beetle.
We're gonna-
Gal Gadot
but
is
I-
coming back as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot
Yeah, we
got
talked
shut
about that a little
down.
last time.
Yeah. No, she got shut down, right? It got
yeah.
poo-pooed.
Before we go though, I do want to remind people, watch Bleach on Hulu or Disney Plus if you don't live in America.
They were very good.
Ahsoka comes out tonight, 9 p.m. So in 20 minutes, go ahead and watch that. Also, August 31st, live action One Piece, and they're saying it's the greatest live action anime adaptation
Dub.
of all time.
Turn on that Japanese audio.
I am
English
watching it
subtitles.
dubbed. I'm gonna try sub first, but then I'll switch to the dub.
I mean, watch it. Yeah, sorry, with the subtitles. Yeah,
Yeah.
and watch it in Japanese
No,
dub.
yeah. Watch it. I might watch it in dub, but I'm gonna try sub. Or sorry, not subs, just regular. Regular and see what it's like.
I'm not gonna ruin it.
Gomu Gomu no.
Yeah, it comes out next week. What else comes out? And then end of what is it? Marvel's in November,
Yeah.
and then Invisible 2 in November.
Yeah, that's coming out soon.
Also, right? Something like that.
Yep.
It's a lot of good things on the horizon. Oh, and Loki and
Loki season 2. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
That's close. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, is it December or is it soon? Or I forget. But the things I didn't forget, go watch those.
Captain America: Brave New World has been mostly filmed, so
Next year.
we'll see how that goes out. You know.
Yeah. Oh, and that
So-
new Superman, the new Superman show is not it.
Don't watch
Superman
it.
gets,
Gosh.
yeah, it gets washed. It's getting washed every episode. Someone skipped him like a stone across the water. And I turned it off.
Yeah, we're gonna start to
All right,
run out of
that's it.
stuff to talk about if this strike keeps going on, because like stuff's gonna stop.
Is it the end of cameos?
Is this the end? Turn in next week to
No,
find
never
out.
We'll just keep talking about games. I'll start playing games again.
There you go.
Yeah, I can explain to you all my. I recently played 300 hours of Final Fantasy X. I can talk to you all about that.
Jesus.
Wow. It's a great game, though.
Blitzball was 200
Yeah.
of those hours. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Blitzball was probably like 100 of those hours.
The other 100 was dodging lightning strikes.
I have not completed that yet. The PS5 controller has a lag on it for that version, so and I either
Makes
have
it
to
so hard.
drop it and I got to pick it up on the PS4 or something else, but not gonna happen. So
Well, if you want more insight into what the hell we're talking about, we will be back here not next week, hiatus, but tune in maybe for a special episode about One Piece featuring Samson and Foo Funny. Probably not.
Oh, yeah, it'll be on Spotify, straight to
Spotify.
but
for
go on
One Piece.
Spotify and rewatch our episodes.
But yeah, we got
Yeah,
all of our
listen to Spotify.
content put up there. I would say that it's edited, but it's not. But you can listen to our content on Spotify. Coming to YouTube soon, probably. We're gonna do something about that.
Look through our Spotify stuff and see if there's opportunities to cancel us individually.
Oh, and
So-
we have a poll on Spotify too. You can tell us what you thought about the episode if you want to remain anonymous and not post in the chat about how terrible Samson's transitions were, or how do you hate O'Shaughnessy's division of the Cammy crew, let us know. Let us know in the poll. But thank you guys so much for tuning in again.
Oh,
It's
wait,
been real.
one more thing. Also, watch Winning Time on HBO.
That show is
Season 2 is
fantastic.
going on right now. It's about the Lakers dynasty. Very, very good. And I wanted to continue to have seasons because it can't end. It can't end with the season. So watch that. Very good. All right, now I'm done.
All right. There's your plug. Go check it out. You got 2 weeks. We'll be back. Thanks, y'all.
Deuces.
Peace.